Welcome everybody to Interactive Friction Season 2. I am Brandon Lee Carey. Joining me as always is professional damsel in distress, Sam, what's her last name?
I thought you were going to say professional mic fixer. Just upgraded the shotgun.
Well, no, I mean, you're Sam, and the damsel in distress in this game is also Sam. I have to make that joke at some point, right?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh, god damn it. It's even worse than what I was thinking.
You're a damsel in distress. Ah.
God, so
So
disappointing.
now we turned our bullshit shotgun into an effective shotgun through magic, I guess.
So then you just take all these pieces of metal and Laura's like a fucking master welder of metal. Was almost gonna change outfits, but I don't care. Whatever, wasting time. Let's just keep going.
Let's go back to... Oh, yeah, let's just keep with the default outfit for now.
Yeah, run a few episodes or so.
Yeah.
Mix it up only when we need to. And, I have, like, no ammo for anything. So this is gonna be great.
You have to use some stealth. We'll have to do... We'll have to be super sneaky.
Gotta play it like an Ubisoft game.
You mean, like, kill one guy, get detected, and have to shoot out all the other guys?
Yeah, so, like, it's funny that, recently, recently as in, like, last night here, this'll be, like, a couple weeks for you guys, I played through the Watch Dogs Bad Blood DLC, and it's just that weird realization of, like, oh, it's an Ubisoft game, because you go into an open area where you can stealth it, but if you fuck up, then you have to do combat. But it's like, fucking Watch Dogs and Far Cry, system-wise, are basically the same game when it comes to that.
I know. It's terrible.
I just feel like I never noticed it so blatantly. And it's like, no, that's...
I did when I played through Watch Dogs. It felt like the exact same fucking game I've been playing.
Somehow I didn't notice that. I probably should have. Alright, so, fun fact, when I played the Definitive Edition, which, was some weeks ago now, I got stuck on this part specifically, and I died like 30 times, so...
we'll
I pretty much
see.
memorized where the enemies come out of at this point.
You had practice for the recording.
Yeah. They function exactly the same. Aside from the fact that you can't defend, but it functions as a parry. Because you shoot guys, it just does like no damage.
That's silly.
That's the thing though, is it's a reskin. You know, it's kind of the problem I've had with it, is that I feel like I'm just playing like a Demon Souls mod.
We're playing Tomb Raider, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, we're waiting for the big story beat.
Yeah.
I didn't really have much to say when it's like, it's a cool combat section, but like Far Cry, it's combat.
Yeah. It's combat again.
At some point, I almost feel like I should just start editing out the combat bits and just get to the story.
And we were talking off camera about the possibility of maybe doing a Dragon Age LP.
Yeah.
And then we thought about it. We realized we would have to like edit out almost all of the combat.
Well, you do like one fight and you'd be like, here's the combat. It's pretty good. And then you skip to like the final boss fight and it's like, here's the combat during the final boss fight.
We had like to do
better.
like a highlight reel every combat of like every dungeon instead of like showing you the dungeon, because it's all like the same shit over and over again.
You know what's funny is that, just because the law of YouTube is if it's a game, there's an LP of it. Just imagine there is probably a couple of full Dragon Age LPs. For, like,
oh, there are. I've
long.
looked.
Like, who would watch that? Who goes to like episode 75 and goes like, yeah, look at this stunning new
Let me
commentary
tell
about
you.
the combat.
Let me tell you who watches it, because I know why I watch particular LPs. What you will end up doing is going, I am stuck in this particular section. I have no idea where to go.
Exactly
So you search Dragon Age and the watch area you're in, and then you'll watch the Let's Play of a section like, oh, how in the hell was I supposed to figure that one out?
Yep. I mean, like,
So
the
you're asking who watches Dragon Age LPs. The answer is those guys. The guys who are stuck.
Yeah. I mean, like, in terms of LPs, unless it's like, a really well-known, like a Game Grumps or Markiplier or whatever, like someone who I watch their personality, I usually watch LPs of games that I either won't play or can't play.
Yeah.
And even that's
Or
pretty
something
rare.
that you're curious about whether people have to think about it.
Yeah. Even that's kind of rare, though, because I
Yeah.
have, like, a collection of friends that is varied enough that I can generally ask about any game except visual novels. And be like, hey, what do you think about it?
Yeah, because I have no interest in visual novels almost whatsoever.
I guess the thing is, like, I know, like, one person on Twitter who's really into them, and I just haven't thought to talk to her about certain visual novels.
Yeah.
'Cause she talks about them plenty already. Let's talk about visual novels for a while. We go to this burning building.
Let's not.
So, you know.
I don't know if there's anything that put me to sleep faster. No offense.
Aw, man, you gotta play Sayonara, though. I wrote that whole article about it. I liked it so much. It's a good game.
I mean, it's an anime.
Yes, it really is. It also gave me nightmares. So, remember Uncharted 3 where you ran through that burning building?
Yep, this is that.
I'm playing Uncharted 3 right now, you can't tell.
Did this come out before or after Uncharted 3?
That's a really good question. Because they were both...
Give me a
were they both
second.
2013, I thought? Uncharted 3 sure as hell was not 2014.
I'm gonna ask God
Yeah.
about this, and by that I mean I'm gonna Google it.
Was Uncharted 3 like 20... No, because The Last of Us was 2012, right? And Uncharted 3 came out before Last of Us. So does that mean Uncharted 3
Uncharted
was
3 release date was in 2011.
That's what I thought. So it's like Last of Us was like Game of the Year 2012. Like that was the big deal. And Last of Us was the last PS3 game by Naughty Dog.
You know, everyone calls this Tomb Raider 2013, so yeah, this came out afterwards.
Huh.
Because this is Tomb Raider 2013.
Yeah. Didn't Uncharted Golden Abyss also have a burning building section?
We don't talk about Uncharted Golden Abyss.
Doesn't Far Cry 3 have a burning building section? Doesn't Watch Dogs have a burning building section?
Does Watch Dogs have a burning building section?
I don't know, but I can go find it, I'm sure.
I don't think so. At least I can't remember it.
Well then, Watch Dogs is Game of the Year for not having a burning building section. Also, every time I see that sequence, I don't know if it's a coincidence that the helicopter fell at an angle or if that pilot is a fucking expert at managing that helicopter.
Yeah.
Because
what should happen is Laura is torn to shreds by the helicopter blades.
Well, it's just the way it falls, like, at an angle so that,
Yeah.
like, it opens up the, like, side of the door. I was like, I have no idea how they fucking managed to do that. Like, I played enough Armor to tell you that I don't know shit about helicopters.
I know how. The animator's tilted a little bit.
Yeah. Also, this is actually a somewhat interesting characterization of Laura.
And I do love that she's now gotten wise to the fact that you can't leave the island, so you gotta basically land. If you're going to be in the air for any length of time, you cannot leave the island, so don't even bother trying.
I just like her method, where it's like, I'm just gonna fucking put a gun to your head. Also, I gotta admit, like, it's really easy to fuck up voice acting that's just yelling as sounding really off, but I feel like they did a really good job of some people sounding fucking terrifying.
I mean, I can't hear it because the audio is muted, but, like, I remember that the voice acting in this game was solid.
Yeah, like, that scene is noticeably well done as far as people screaming over helicopter blades and all that. Like, it sounds realistic. Yeah, it's a pretty good scene. Also, I forgot, this is the Roth death scene, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah. Got his legs fucked
Spoiler.
up, got his head fucked up. Yeah. It's the whole fucking point of the series, Brandon. If you've not played this game before, please play it first.
Spoiler, the bad guy dies.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna point out again and again.
Then again, if you're familiar with this kind of, like, story, you could see Roth's death coming.
Yeah, it's the death of the mentor. I'm sure there's a page on TV Tropes called Death of the Mentor. I fucking guarantee it. So much so that I'm gonna look it up during this cutscene. Brandon, entertain the audience.
Let's see. What kind of songs do you want me to sing on the camera? No. I don't want to. I don't want the audience to have their eardrums broken.
So it's not called Death of the Mentor. It's called the Obi-Wan.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah. Which basically just encompasses, like, Death of the Mentor, Resurrection of the Mentor's lines during later parts of the game where they repeat, where the character hears in their head something that was repeated before.
Yeah, by the mentor figure.
Yeah. Also, that's a pretty messed up way to go, man. My understanding is spinal injuries are pretty bad. Also, Roth doing the straight-up Tomb Raider handgun style.
Yeah.
It's looting.
I do like that he is the one that does a dual-handed at first, and not Laura.
Yeah.
And then as Laura gets her skills, then she can do the dual-wielding stuff that Roth is good at.
Yeah. God, man, the facial animation looks pretty good in this scene.
Yeah.
Look at that! Look at how good that looks. I'm looking at the stream right now, which is
Yeah, it does look really good.
And that's the thing, is like, I mentioned in Definitive Edition how Laura always looks pissed because her eyebrows face inward in their new model. So imagine seeing this scene where Laura looks angry. Like, it just completely throws me off every time I see it. It's not, that's just subtle details. Like, I know people have
This is
different
the part
faces,
where Laura
but
has to
it's
step up
weird.
and basically lead her group.
Yeah.
She is now the leader of the Scoobies.
Even though people are, well, Reyes is not into that at all.
She'll either suck it up and deal with it.
Well, I mean, she does by the time they build the boat.
Yeah.
Because it's all about Lara, isn't it?
I don't know how I feel about this particular scene where it's like she immediately goes to attacking Laura. Like, I understand from a psychological standpoint why she does it,
You're right.
Yeah.
but it just
It
seems
still
kind of
feels a little
forced.
forced.
Yeah, it feels
Yeah.
like, oh, of course she has to get mad at Laura because her lover died.
Yeah.
It's like,
Someplace safe and make preparations.
And then once Sam points it out, she's like, you know what, you're right, I shouldn't have said that.
I shouldn't fall into that trope. That's a bad one.
Yes.
Even though she brings it up again in, like, the next scene over. Because she kind of, like, does it, and then Laura just kind of goes, ah, fuck you, basically.
I don't like Jonas very much.
He's just not much of a character. He just
Yeah.
kind of there.
Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna say something that sounds vaguely tribal right now, because that's my
Yeah.
character.
Well, he's just kind of like the feel-good, nice guy who just, he's willing to help and willing to say stuff, but he doesn't do much.
I should be able to fix it up.
Yeah. Even compared to the rest of Scoobies that don't get a whole lot of lines in general,
Also, like, it's
he
worth mentioning,
gets like he gets like snubbed in the line department.
I think it's also worth mentioning at this point, it's kind of funny how little of the characters partake in combat in this game. Like, Laura does
Yeah.
throughout the entire game, but otherwise, like, Alex does during his death scene. Reyes does at the very end with Jonas, like, the last scene of the game, you see them
Yeah.
shooting dudes.
Sleep.
Sam
And they're
never
basically holding the
does,
line.
and Roth always does. So it's kind
Yeah.
of like Laura and Roth are the only people that you see, like, actively fighting.
Consistently fight.
Yeah.
I'm fixing that
It's
car.
just,
You
it's
and
kind
me.
of weird when you think about it, because it's almost like, well, they're not the player character, they don't need to fight, and it's like, yeah, but are they
It'd
just,
be
are
nice
they not
to see them
fighting
actually
ever?
doing something.
Understand this place.
It makes you feel like they're just not doing anything to help if they're not fighting.
But they're a strength. Trust them.
Yeah, you're right that he does this weird thing where he's like, I'm gonna say something vaguely tribal.
Yes, vaguely, for lack of a better word, tribal.
I wish I had a better word because that sounds almost racist, but there's not really a better word. Vaguely prophetic? I don't know. It's not really a good word for that.
And spiritual is not the right word either.
No, not necessarily. Also, man, Laura
And
could really use
wise
a
isn't even like wise isn't even the right word to use either. Not really.
Keep us close.
Yeah. Also, that gun looks bigger than it should be. Like, that looks like the size of, like, a Desert Eagle.
Yeah. Well, you know, Roth needed a big gun to compensate for his little, you know what I mean.
We're not going there, Brandon. We're better than this.
No, we aren't.
If we're gonna get paid for this one day, we have to say we're better than this. That's what we have to tell the people. But really, we're not that much better than this.
Have you seen our podcast?
Episode whatever this is as good as it gets. Doesn't get any better than this.
We have a podcast episode titled "My Little Panty Party."
No, it's my fucking penny
My
party.
fucking panty party, which is even worse.
Yeah. I remember I annotated that.
Oh yeah, because you weren't there.
Yeah.
You gotta do this episode too at some point, or just wait till the next episode and talk about it then.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I got a lot of work. I'm trying to do it once. Also, I think this is the final shirt character model. No, I think there's like one more. I don't.
This is the part where Laura is like finally like completely submitted herself to the fact that this island will not let them leave unless Himiko is dealt with in some way.
Yep. Which, you know, I've mentioned before that I don't really care for like the
Supernatural.
supernatural aspects, but that's just me. You know, I'm sure a lot of people go.
I'm
like, yeah,
fine
sure.
with it. I'm fine with it. I'm totally fine with it. But like,
At least this game handles it pretty well. Like, it doesn't really go over the top with it. It's just kind of like at the very end, they're just like,
it's
I don't know.
it's kind of a thing with these kind of Indiana Jones-esque adventures is that there always has to be a supernatural element at the end of it.
Yeah, one makes you wonder if it is just kind of like a hat tip to classic Indiana Jones more than the need.
It
for
almost has to be because otherwise it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, you could.
And we
definitely- you
are
could
at
certainly
20-minute mark, so like when the next time we get to a
Okay.
good stopping point will be a
If I
good.
remember correctly, we're going to the shoreline, which should be a good place to stop. Oh, there's one
Yeah.
more, there's a combat section, then we go to the shore. There's fighting through the woods at night. This is
Combat
a-
again.
This is actually a really good setup though, where it's like they have a bunch of guys
Yeah.
with flashlights, and it's like you can climb atop.
Oh
some
yeah, I love
trees.
this section.
It's really well planned.
If you're hiding, come out.
Like I just love the idea of a
if you're
bunch of guys
smart,
with
you can
flashlights.
stealth this whole thing. If
Yeah.
you're smart.
I've done it before.
And I kept trying it, not because I
Whoop,
didn't
what?
want.
Magic arrows.
I kept restarting not because I didn't want to fight, but because I thought it would be really cool. It'd be cooler to stealth the whole thing. So I actually enjoy playing this section multiple times to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, it's just and I it's actually an interesting talking point that you made me think about is that with the games like Far Cry and Watch Dogs and all these games that are like stealth sections or combat depending on what you want, but they're never really built greatly for stealth sections. It's always
Yeah.
like it has to be vaguely stealth and combat oriented map so that it can fulfill both, whereas this one is like, look, it's not a good combat map. There's just not a lot of cover to work around. So it's like this game.
So this is a
basically telling you
primarily
should
stealth map.
It's like you could combat this, but you really should do stealth here because
Because
it's the
again,
much more
like,
viable option.
in this game, once you're detected, every enemy will immediately know exactly where you are.
Yeah, but I just like the idea of like, hey, let's build a map for one or the other and just allow both, rather than the
Yeah.
Ubisoft chest-high walls where it's like you can kind of do both. If you want.
I remember hearing someone talk about the Assassin's Creed franchise the other day, and they were talking about how the reason like Assassin's Creed 1's assassinations were so good is that the level designs themselves were built to accommodate multiple different playstyles in that assassination attempt.
Yes.
Whereas a lot of later games, it felt like they were jury-rigging the assassinations to the levels themselves instead of vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Where it felt like, this area has to be realistic, so we gotta do it. We gotta look like this, even though that really doesn't make sense from a gameplay perspective.
Damn it. This guy's really. It's really hard to get that done.
Why don't you just move closer to him, dude?
I didn't want to leave the campfire. It would have been a lot easier. Yeah, I've often wondered if like there might be a better way to do these kind of critical LPs, which is that like, either edit through all the combat stuff or just call it quits when you're done talking about it. Because if you want to spoil everything anyway, it's like, why couldn't it just be like a couple episodes and be like, well, that's it. That's all I have to say about this.
Part of the beauty of this format is the way we kind of go off the cuff. And we can say some really cool things or really dumb things on the way, but it's like, that's part of the charm of this.
Who the fuck? Oh. Whoops. I didn't know that would happen. I did not know this would happen. Excuse me. Oh, God.
Ah, fucking wolves!
Who invited the wolves? Fucking hate wolves! Fuck you, wolf. God damn.
Fuck you, wolf.
Okay, now this guy's just gonna hang out and relax. Whoa, what the fuck? Yes, cash.
Another... I really, I've said this multiple times before, but, don't get the point of the GPS caches in this game at all. Like, what purpose does their inclusion serve?
Collectibles.
We already have plenty of collectibles in this game, though.
Brandon, we need more collectibles.
What, are you Ubisoft?
The publisher says we need more collectibles? GPS caches. Got it. Put 500 of them around.
But Sam, this is not Ubisoft game. This is a Square Enix game. Ubisoft's one that demands all the collectibles.
Maybe Square Enix wanted some of that hot collectibles gate. I don't know.
Hot collectible action.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what the hell collectibles warrant. Collectibles just, I don't know. It's a weird thing for me in games, but that's just because I don't use them.
They bother me more than they really should.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those weird things where
Because
it's
the problem is, there are people in the world that legitimately enjoy doing all that collectible nonsense, but there are far more people who don't enjoy it but feel compelled to do it anyway.
Yeah, I definitely had a weird moment recently where I was playing through Far Cry 4 and I was like, I want 100% this game because, I don't know, let's see what happens. And then I got really bored and it's like, I can't believe some people go through a physical struggle just to 100% games. Because I can't imagine that many games are fun to 100%. Like, there's got to be some point where it's like, this part is not fun, but I'm doing it anyway.
Like I said in the podcast, I was 99.98% finished a Far Cry 4 LP, but the arena is so boring.
Yep. I did the same
that I
thing.
had no interest whatsoever in getting to level 10 in the arena.
That was the exact same problem I had with it. Where like I got all the masks, I got all the flyers, and I actually had fun flying around. I was just like,
You know
I was
what?
watching a video.
If it was like, if you leveled up in the arena faster, maybe. But like, you can beat like a 30-round fight and get like shit experience from it.
Yeah.
Or like shit arena ranking from it. And like, why would I do this? That's literally like spending hours just to get a 0.02%.
Well, arena's funny because I'm sure conceptually they were like, hey, it's just a way to do free combat, and it's like, yeah, but it misses all the dynamics of the Far Cry combat, which is, you know, moving.
And it
your
misses the whole
environment and
point of
vehicles and
arena
stuff.
combat.
Arena combat.
'Cause I mean, like, it's weird because you like they have this challenge where you get only this one weapon to fight, but like it doesn't matter what weapon you're using because you're going to spend most of the time doing takedowns anyway.
Yeah. That's just,
The whole
this was
point of
not
Far
meant
Cry
for it.
combat is like to go for the takedown because it's the easiest way to kill something.
Well, it's also like part of the Far Cry combat is stealth until you get caught, and then work
Yeah.
with it. Like that's part of the crux of the game.
So like there's like that does not work for arena combat whatsoever.
I think we pull it this way.
This is Tomb Raider, guys, and we should have stopped already.
Oh right, I forgot about that. Yeah, you just want to start here with all the wolves trying to kill me?
Like the ones
Uh,
Well, they're not trying to kill me. We're just hanging out. Just hanging.
we could
talking.
stop like right in this pavilion and then continue from next episode.
Okay. Well, so now that we're gonna stop here with all the wolves trying to be angry at me. If you like this video, then hit the like button below. You know, helps us, makes us feel good about our lives. And if you want to check out more videos, you can always subscribe. And if you want to talk to us about this video and how bad I am at the combat, you can comment below on that.
Also, if you think your friends might like this kind of stuff, feel free to share this video with them.
It'd be cool.
You know,
Like it.
I'd like someone else to say, hey, maybe you're good or maybe you're not good at this stuff.
I mean, I'll take feedback, man, good or bad.
Yeah.
We'll take it. And obviously in the description below you can check out me and Brandon both have Twitter accounts where we tweet a lot of stuff about games and otherwise, and we both
And we have blogs.
we both have our own independent blogs to write about games. So other than that, we will see you guys next time on Interactive Friction Season 2.
Bye, guys.